My name is Arthur Malone. I am 88 years old. I live in a small town in Vermont called Montpelier. Same little house Dorothy and I bought back in '63. And I want to tell you something that took me 60 years to learn. Not 60 years of reading, not 60 years of studying other people's mistakes, 60 years of making my own. I spent 35 years as a school teacher, 35 years standing in front of classrooms, holding a piece of chalk, telling young people how to build a good life. And the whole time, I was building mine. Wrong. If I could sit down with my 30-year-old self right now, I wouldn't be gentle. I wouldn't pat him on the back. I would grab him by the shoulders, look him in the eye and say, "Arthur, you are about to waste the next 20 years on things that do not matter, and you won't notice. You won't notice until it's too late to turn around." This isn't advice from a book. This isn't something I read somewhere. This is what it cost me. And I'm only telling you because I don't want you to pay the same price. If you are 30 or 35 or anywhere close, sit down. This one is going to sting a little. I married Dorothy in 1961. She was the kindest woman I ever knew. Patient, gentle, everything I thought I needed. The first few years felt easy, too easy, and I mistook that for something permanent. But here's the thing nobody warned me about. Love is not something you find and then put on a shelf. It is something you build every single day through conversations you don't want to have. I didn't have them. I came home from school tired. She'd ask, "How was your day?" I said, "Fine." She'd ask, "Is something bothering you?" I said, "Not tonight, Dorothy." And I said, "Not tonight" for years. Not because I didn't love her. I did. But I was afraid that if we opened something up, we couldn't close it again. So I kept quiet, kept the peace, told myself that was enough. It wasn't. By the time I was 42, we had stopped talking about anything that mattered. We lived in the same house, ate dinner at the same table, but we were strangers. The kind of strangers who know how the other person takes their coffee, but not what keeps them up at night. One evening she looked at me, and I remember this clearly. She said, "Arthur, do you even know what I'm afraid of?" I opened my mouth, and nothing came out. After 20 years, I didn't know. I didn't know what my own wife was afraid of. That silence, that stayed with me for the rest of my life. But it gets worse. Dorothy got sick later. Dementia. The last 10 years of her life, she didn't always know who I was. And I sat by her bed every single day, talking, trying to fit 50 years of conversations into whatever time she had left to hear them. Most days, she looked right through me. So when I tell you, talk early, talk when it's uncomfortable, talk before the quiet becomes permanent. I am not quoting a marriage counselor. I am begging you from the other side of a silence that can never, ever be fixed. At 30, I treated my body like it would last forever. I woke up at 5:30, drank 3 cups of coffee before school, taught all day, came home, ate whatever was fast, fell asleep by 9. Weekends I did yard work until my back ached, then slept again. I called that discipline. I called that providing. What I didn't understand, and a doctor told me this much later when the damage was already done, is that the body keeps a record. Every morning you skip moving. Every night you don't sleep right. Every meal you eat out of convenience. It writes it all down, quietly. And it doesn't show you the bill until years later. I was 47 when my back gave out, real pain, the kind that wakes you at 3 in the morning and won't let go. I went to see a specialist in Burlington. He looked at my x-rays, looked at me and said, "Mr. Malone, how long have you been ignoring this?" I said, "A few months maybe." He shook his head, said, "Try 15 years. 15 years. I had been carrying damage for 15 years and I didn't even know it, because I was too busy being useful to listen to my own body. By 55, I couldn't walk 20 minutes without stopping. By 60, I needed help getting out of a chair some mornings. The freedom I took for granted at 30, just moving through the world without thinking, that was gone. And it didn't disappear all at once. It left quietly, one ignored warning at a time. Your body is not a machine. It does not run on coffee and stubbornness forever. And when it goes, everything goes with it. The walks, the playing with your kids, the simple act of just being free. Don't wait for a doctor to tell you. Listen now. This is the hardest one. I had a brother, Raymond. We were close, or we used to be. We stopped speaking in 1989, a stupid fight. I don't even remember what it started over. Something small, something that didn't matter. But here's the thing. I knew I was wrong. I knew it the second the argument ended. I felt it in my chest. But I was too proud to pick up the phone and say so I didn't. Raymond waited for me to call. I waited for him to admit I was right. Neither of us moved. 2 years passed, then 5, then 10. I told myself it was fine. Told myself if he wanted to talk to me, he knew where I lived. Told myself pride was a virtue. Raymond died in 2004. Heart attack. He was 59 years old. I found out from a phone call, not from his wife, not from his kids, from a neighbor who assumed I already knew. Because why wouldn't I know? We were brothers, but we hadn't spoken in 15 years. I didn't go to the funeral. I couldn't face it. And I still haven't been to his grave. That is what pride cost you. Not dignity, not strength. It cost you the people who loved you. And once they're gone, there is no conversation left to have. No apology that means anything anymore. The door doesn't just close, the whole wall disappears. If there is someone in your life right now, someone you're not talking to because you're waiting for them to come first, stop waiting. Just stop. Because one day there won't be a phone to pick up. Everything I just told you, Dorothy, my body, Raymond, all of it comes back to one thing. I thought I had time. Not because I was careless. I wasn't lazy. I was busy, working, providing, showing up every day. But I was showing up for the wrong things. And I didn't notice because I genuinely believed I could fix it later. I couldn't. I miss my son's childhood. I was grading papers at the kitchen table while he was right there, asking me questions, needing me to look up. I miss my daughter's high school play for a parent-teacher conference I can't even remember now. I told myself I'll slow down when things get easier. Things never get easier. You just get more tired. My mother called me every Sunday, every single Sunday, for 20 years. And most of those Sundays, I answered with half my mind somewhere else, thinking about Monday, thinking about the lesson plan I hadn't finished. She was in her 70s, living alone, and I was too distracted to hear that her voice was getting quieter. She died in 2007. She was 81. I think about those phone calls more than almost anything. Not because they were special, because they were ordinary. And I treated them like they'd always be there. I have pictures from Christmas, 1978. My two boys on my lap. Dorothy laughing in the kitchen. I look at those pictures now, and I can't remember what my son's voices sounded like when they said, "Daddy." I was there, and I wasn't there. Time doesn't announce itself when it leaves. It just slips away. While you're busy planning for something that depends on a present you're not even living in. You don't lose your life in one big moment. You lose it in 1,000 small ones you didn't think to save. I am 88 years old. I have more mornings behind me than ahead of me. That's not sad, that's just honest. And I'm telling you all of this, not to scare you, not to make you feel guilty, but because someone should have said it to me when I was your age, and nobody did. Or maybe they did, and I wasn't ready to hear it. You're ready now. I know it because you're still watching. So here is what I'm asking. Just one thing, not tomorrow, tonight. Call someone you've been putting off. Say the thing you've been swallowing. Put the phone down and look at the person sitting next to you. Actually look at them. Because one day, and you won't see it coming, you'll be sitting where I'm sitting. And you will give anything, for one more ordinary Tuesday with the people you're ignoring right now. Don't waste your life the way I did. If this meant something to you, if it made you feel even a little uncomfortable, then it did its job. Leave a comment. Tell me one thing you're going to do tonight. I read every single one. It means more than you know. Thank you for spending 15 minutes with an old man from Vermont.